Amy was out jogging alone. The place was remote, almost deserted. She didn't realize that 4 men were secretly following and watching her from a distance. Her stunning figure stirred something dark in them. But this time, they didn't act. They just hurled crude, vulgar comments her way. Amy brushed it off at first, but when she got home, she was shocked to see the same 4 men standing on her roof doing repairs. Turns out, they were workers her husband David had hired. When they discovered Amy was the homeowner, that same wicked urge returned. Amy told David about the verbal harassment, but instead of standing up for her, David, spineless and timid, blamed her for dressing too provocatively. Amy was furious. She had been harassed, yet the man closest to her chose to accuse rather than protect. Angry and hurt, Amy did something she would regret for the rest of her life. She walked to the window, made sure the men saw her, and slowly began unbuttoning her shirt, deliberately showing off her body. The workers were thrilled. They took her actions as a signal and started plotting how to get her alone. They invited David on a hunting trip in the mountains. He hesitated, but afraid to offend them, he agreed. They drove him 10 miles out, then left him stranded in the woods. All 4 of them rushed back to his house, where Amy was now home, completely alone. What followed was Amy's darkest nightmare. The men assaulted her and fled. By the time David realized he'd been abandoned, he had no choice but to walk back on foot. It was nightfall when he finally returned. He stepped inside to find Amy disheveled and broken. He could guess what had happened, but he said nothing. He looked away, pretending everything was normal. Amy saw right through him and told him the truth herself. David was silent, then said he'd make things right. The next day, he took a deep breath, mustered what little courage he had, and confronted the 4 workers, not to accuse them, but to hand them a stack of cash. He claimed it was to settle their wages and asked them to leave quietly. Afraid to upset them, he even paid double. The men saw exactly what he was, a coward. They took the money and walked away without a care. But that night, they came back again, even bolder this time. Knowing full well David was home, they broke in, ready to repeat what they'd done. David did nothing, so Amy took matters into her own hands. She grabbed a gun and fired. Shot after shot rang out. All 4 men collapsed. In the end, David set the house on fire, letting the flames consume it all. The shame, the evil, and everything in between.